standards led by the conservative members of our State Board of Education last May, some liberal legislators have threatened to file bills that would remove our elected State Board of Education and replace it with a system of an appointed board. This would totally remove parental authority over the direction of the education of their children and totally remove the authority of an elected board that selects our textbooks. There will no longer be any accountability to parents and taxpayers. You, all of you, must be engaged in the battle and continue to do so. I hope you will sign up for our Texas Eagle Forum alerts. There's the sign-up sheet over there. And we will keep you posted on what's going on during the legislative session when these bills come up for hearings. Right now, we don't have a clue as to what they'll be. Even if you can't go to Austin to testify, you may want to call or contact them through email or a fax. We can also alert you to the when the new social studies textbooks are ready for a review. Then you can check them out at a local region service center and take them home, review them, and then let the State Board of Education know what you think of them. Either go to Austin, write a letter, or an email, or call. It's going to be a long ways down the line, but if you're on our email list, we'll know when to tell you. But you don't have to wait long to participate in the State Board of Education business. At present, we have 2 wonderful candidates running for State Board of Education. I hope you will tell your family and friends about them. Ken Mercer of San Antonio is an outstanding conservative Republican incumbent in District 5 who has proved worthy of re-election. The other candidate worthy of our support is Carlos Charlie Garza, a Republican from El Paso County who is challenging a very, very liberal Democrat incumbent. There are many other things I could tell you about education at the state level, but all I have time to mention is that we can expect a push for mandatory pre-kindergarten. The philosophy of liberals is to get children into the grasp of government as soon as possible. Single and poor mothers support such programs because it provides free daycare at taxpayer expense. I must now go on to tell you a little bit about education at the local level. I am very excited to tell you that many school districts throughout the country have been successfully asking their school board or local school districts to place their school check registers on the internet. This initiative was spearheaded by my good friend and journalist Peyton Wolcott of Horseshoe Bay, Texas. And there's an article about her effort in one of our newsletters on the table over here. I hope you will go to PeytonWolcott.com, PeytonWolcott.com, to determine whether or not your school district already has their check register online. If not, Peyton has posted detailed instructions for asking your school district how to do this. It's very easy and it's been highly successful. The last issue I want to talk about tonight is sex education. And I don't hear a lot about that from the Tea Party movement. You might be the first group hearing about it. So fasten your seatbelts. I have heard that many Tea Party people are not interested in social issues. But I hope that what I have to say next convinces you that what we teach our kids about sex in school has a definite impact on our tax dollars. You see, while almost half of the state budget in Texas is allocated to education, a great deal of the rest of the budget pays for social programs, some of which are directly related to the fallout of sexual activity among minor children and young adults. With sexually active students come unplanned pregnancies and disease. To name a few, these programs include treatment of minor children for sexually transmitted diseases, immunizations for children of single mothers who cannot afford them, WIC services such as food and well baby clinics for children of single moms, special classrooms, schools, administrators, teachers, and counselors for pregnant teens who want to remain in school but are too ashamed to attend classes with their peers. In Texas, the law requires that if a school district does teach about human sexuality, the curriculum must reflect local community values. Also, abstinence must be stressed as the most effective way to prevent pregnancy and diseases. In order to reflect local community values, each school district is required to have a school health advisory council. And I hate this acronym, but they call it a SHAC. This council is to be made up of community members such as the clergy, business people, doctors, nurses, and such. However, parents must make up the majority of the members of the council. Also, these parents may not be teachers who are parents of children in the school district. My advice to you is to contact your local school district and ask to be placed on the School Health Advisory Committee. Even if the committee is full, I suggest that you get yourself on the waiting list. Someone might drop off. Also, attend their meetings and observe what they discuss. I also suggest you obtain a copy of the sex ed curriculum in your school district. Ask to see all of the materials that they're going to cover. You have a right to remove your child from sex ed class should you want to do so. Not every state has that prerogative. If you have children or grandchildren in public school, I suggest you read a book titled You're Teaching My Child What? By Dr. Lynn Gerstenschlager. There you will learn that almost half of American high school students nationwide and about 62% in 12th grade have had sexual intercourse. Dr. Grossman says that we have a 911 emergency. While pregnancy used to be the worry of parents, now we must worry about sexually transmitted diseases. Also, they can be nasty, painful, and even life-threatening. Remember how I told you that Planned Parenthood and the homosexuals will be at the Capitol to lobby on all of these bills? Dr. Grossman put it this way: sex education is comprised of a vast network of programs with Planned Parenthood, Advocates for Youth, and SECUS at its center. Consequently, every parent should check their child's school curricula for the full picture. I'm glad she told people this. I hope that it will get them alarmed and incensed so they will go and get engaged with their child's curriculum. I wonder if a parent who supports Planned Parenthood is on your local school health advisory council. I say this because a very liberal group based in Austin has advised their membership to try to get on the health advisory council so that their liberal voices can be heard. The name of this organization is the Texas Freedom Network, and our next speaker can vouch for the fact that they are there at the State Board of Education meetings and at the Capitol to voice their opinions. Texas Freedom Network was founded by Cecile Richards, who is the daughter of the late Ann Richards, the liberal Democrat governor of Texas. Texas Freedom Network is one of the biggest opponents of ours at the legislature and State Board of Ed meetings. Cecile Richards left Texas Freedom Network several years ago for Washington, D.C. when her husband took a job up there. She found plenty to do, and she's now head of Planned Parenthood International. Check out the Texas Freedom Network at tfn.org. Then decide if you want their values pushed in your child's classroom and textbooks. I've heard that some school districts are not adhering to the law that states that the majority of the council be made up of parents. There is only one way to know, and that is to check it out for yourselves. In conclusion, I hope you will become engaged in the legislative process this coming January and let our legislators know your position on the myriad bills that will come up for votes. We have to hold our ground and make our voices heard. We have a lot of trouble to fight, but I'd like to remind myself that we live in America and it is up to us to fight the trouble we face. The children's author, Dr. Seuss, put it a little differently when he said, I have heard there are troubles of more than one kind. Some come from ahead and some come from behind. But I've thought of being back, and I'm all ready, you see. Now my troubles are going to have troubles with me.